Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Going the Distance. This is episode 62. Can you believe we've done 62 episodes? I can't, but I want to welcome the new members who are just joining me for the first time, and I want to welcome back the members who have been joining me from the beginning. Your support is greatly appreciated, so before we get started, I'd love it if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and like the video, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. So we've got some stuff to get into today, and today is the big Super Bowl reaction show. But we've also got some other news to get into as well. So we had a retirement. We had our last head coaching vacancy filled. We've got some Aaron Rodgers news and some Deebo Samuel news. Plus we've got some a college coordinator hire, and then we've got our what we're listening to segment. So let's jump right into it. So first, you guys can see that I'm wearing one of my NFL jerseys. So, and there's a reason for that. So I'll get into that here in a little bit. So first off, we're going to talk about Mason Crosby. He was the kicker for the Green Bay Packers. He retired after 17 seasons in the NFL. He is from Lubbock, Texas. He's 40 years old. He spent most of his career with the Packers. He was drafted by them in 2007, round 6, pick 193. He spent from 2007 to 2022 with the Packers. He spent not long with the Rams. He was on the practice squad. And then in that same year, 2023, he signed with the Giants. Well, he didn't play at all last season, so he decided to call it a career after 17 seasons. And I can see that. He won a Super Bowl with Green Bay, so he felt like, his job was done. So congratulations on a good career, Mason. We wish you all the best and can't wait to see what you do in the off season. So next, we're going to talk about the Falcons and Kirk Cousins. And the Falcons are planning and expected to cut Kirk Cousins in this offseason. I can kind of see that because, Kirk Cousins just wasn't who he used to be. In fact, if you ask me, maybe Kirk needs to go ahead and retire. Because no other team's going to pick him up, in my opinion, after the way he acted with the Falcons. Because how do you expect to sign your contract and then turn right around and say, oh, why are you drafting a quarterback when I'm your quarterback? Well, you need a backup, don't you, Kurt? So I think Kurt just needs, if the Falcons release him, he just needs to go ahead and retire and move on. His career has come and gone. So, if that's just my thoughts. So next we're going to move into the 49ers. And this was big news for me because this has to do with Deebo Samuel. And he requested and was granted a trade from the 49ers. Now, there have been no trade offers yet, but he's asked for a trade, and they've said, okay, you can have your trade. So where does Deebo go? What team really needs him? Does he stay in that division, or does he go somewhere else? I would see him going somewhere like maybe New England or Dallas, or somebody that really needs a really good wide receiver. And this shocked me because I thought Deebo was going to be there for the long haul. I thought he was going to just spend his whole career there. He could go somewhere like Seattle. Shoot, team him back up with Russell somewhere. Him and Russell did great together. So we'll see how that goes. So, as everybody was wondering, about Aaron Rodgers. If you're a Rodgers fan, me, not so much. But the Jets have decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers, and I thought this was great because he only played 18 games with the Jets. He was hurt his first season with them. He came and played last season, and his numbers last season were the same amount of numbers in the first 5 games that they were without him. So people could say there's a curse around the Jets. I'm seeing that, but you need to pick quality quarterbacks too and quality players. And Aaron Rodgers is not that quality player. So again, Aaron needs to just go ahead and retire. He's going to be 41, 42 years old. Man needs to go on. And I heard that he was given the ultimatum by the Jets. You can't appear on the Pat McAfee show. And Aaron's on Pat McAfee show every Tuesday. So they're like, you either stop going to the show or you're not going to be on the team anymore. Well, he chose Pat McAfee, so he's out of the Jets, which means hopefully he's out of the NFL. So fingers crossed, we're going to wait on Aaron's decision, and when we get that decision, I'm going to bring it to you. So I'll keep you updated on that. So moving on, we had our last head coaching vacancy filled, and Kellen Moore, who was the front runner last week for the Saints job, got the Saints job on Monday. And I'm really happy with that. I really thought he was going to be he was going to go in and have the Dallas job, but that didn't work out. They got Brian Schottenheimer, so, shrug on to that. But we'll see how Kellen does in New Orleans. I think he's going to have a lot of good success in New Orleans. But he's also had success as a coordinator because he was the coordinator for Dallas, and then he was a coordinator for Philadelphia, which, by the way, we'll get into Philadelphia here in a little bit. But before the Super Bowl, we had the NFL honors. Now, I'm wearing this NFL jersey. Whose jersey am I wearing? That's right, Josh Allen's jersey. And why am I wearing Josh Allen's jersey? Because he won MVP this year. He was most deserving for MVP. He won it. He beat out Lamar. In fact, I think it was a unanimous vote for Josh this year, which, in my opinion, was solely deserved because, in fact, I'm surprised he doesn't have more MVPs, Josh, because he's been so good throughout his career. And then we had people like Jalen Daniels winning Rookie of the Year. And, I believe it was, Kevin O'Connell won Coach of the Year with Minnesota. So if you had asked me, yeah, Kevin O'Connell was okay for winning that, but I would have put somebody like Dan Quinn in that lineup, or Dan Campbell, because Dan Campbell has done phenomenal things for Detroit, and Dan Quinn has done phenomenal things for the Redskins. And this was Dan Quinn's first season with the Redskins, and he took them to the championship game just like Jalen Daniels took him to the championship game. So, maybe next year that'll happen. But congratulations to you, Josh. I'm representing you today. Congratulations to everybody who won. And now we're going to move into the Super Bowl. And, I know there were people that were going to boycott the Super Bowl because the Chiefs were in it. But nobody expected the outcome. Well, what was the outcome, you might ask? That's why I'm here. The Eagles defeated the Chiefs 40-22. The Eagles came out swinging Sunday night. They knew that the game wasn't going to be in their favor. They knew people were going to say the Chiefs were going to win. In fact, everybody had the Chiefs winning. I think only a few people on the panel had the Eagles winning. And that was just because they needed those points. But I mean, Philadelphia came out and was like, to me, they looked like Seattle did when Seattle played Denver in the Super Bowl, and said, you know what? Yeah, you want Denver to win? No, we're going to win. Well, that's what the Eagles did. They said, you want the Chiefs to win? No, 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 no. They won 2 years 2 years back. They've won 2 years in a row. They beat us two years ago, meaning the Eagles. And, that's really stuck with Jalen. And that's stuck with everybody in the Eagles organization. So what do they do? They come out and they throw Mahomes off his game. They force him they sack him twice, and then they have him throw in 2 interceptions back to back. It was like sack, interception, interception. Mahomes ended up getting sacked 6 times during that game. At halftime, that score was 24-0. The first points for the Chiefs didn't come till the third quarter of the game. They score, they go for a 2-point conversion, they miss it. So, it was like 24-6, 30-6 going into the fourth quarter. And then all of a sudden, the Chiefs are clicking. And they score a touchdown, 2-point conversion. So make it, and then they score another touchdown and make a 2-point conversion. Well, the Eagles kick a few field goals, make it, 40-22. Eagles are Super Bowl champs. Tomorrow they have their Super Bowl parade. I can't be happier about that because I was not wanting the three-peat. I wasn't wanting the Chiefs and Mahomes and Kelsey and all of them to have their glory. They've had their glory. They've won. But now Mahomes has been found out. And there's talks that this could be Kelsey's last. That could have been Kelsey's last game. And I really hope it is because, I'm tired. I'm tired of having Mahomes and Kelsey and that being all we hear about. So if Kelsey goes, Andy Reid already said he's coming back for another season. And we know Mahomes is going to come back because this is his 7th or 8th season, and he's got a 10-year contract. So he might run this contract out, might re-sign for another 2 or 3 years, and then he might be gone. So we have him for at least another, 5 or 6 years. But I think this is it for the Chiefs. I don't think they're going to have any more success. I mean, I think they'll have success. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think they're going to be as front runner as they used to be. Because now in their division, they've got head coaches like Pete Carroll and Harbaugh in there. So that's going to be a pretty stacked division. So could the Raiders be the next one to take over? They needed the Raiders need a quarterback, but I see the Chiefs not even a dynasty. I see their time at the Super Bowl going down. I don't see them going to the Super Bowl next year. I see somebody beating them, whether that's the Bengals or the Bills, and I'd love for it to be either one of them. So congratulations, Philadelphia. Y'all played a heck of a game, and I can't wait to see you guys next season and see how y'all do, because this loss that the Chiefs had, I can live on for the next 7 months until football season comes back. Also in that Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl MVP, which he deserved, and Saquon Barkley got his Super Bowl ring, and Saquon was in that category that I had of a player that was really good, that would probably not get a Super Bowl ring because of the team he was on, because he was with the Giants. Well, this was his first season with Philadelphia, and now he's got his Super Bowl ring, so I can mark him off of that list and put him in on the list of Super Bowl champs who got the ring, who deserved it. So, where do we go next season? And speaking of football, for you new subscribers, who are y'all's favorite teams if you watch the NFL? Who's y'all's favorite player, favorite quarterback? What did you guys think of the halftime show this year? I am still learning more about it, so I'm not going to give my thoughts on it. But what do you guys think of it? But moving on, I told you we had some college news. Ohio State is hiring Matt Patricia as their defensive coordinator because Chip Kelly has a coordinator job with the Raiders now. So he's back in the NFL working under Pete Carroll. So let's see how Matt Patricia does as the defensive coordinator for Ohio State. Does he stay there for a while and then move back into the NFL? I don't know. We'll see about that. Matt Patricia was a great coordinator when he was with the Patriots. He had that Josh McDaniels thing where he got his coordinator job with the Patriots, went to Detroit, didn't do good in Detroit, came back to the Patriots, spent some time there again, and then went to Philadelphia. Well, Josh McDaniels had 2 head coaching jobs and went back to the Patriots both times, got released after that second time. Patriots didn't hire him back, and now he's back with the Patriots. So we'll see how that goes. But now that football season is over, NFL season's over, we have about 7 weeks now, probably 6 now, on this coming weekend. It will be 6 weeks until the UFL starts, and that's the United Football League. And y'all, this is the second season for the UFL, so we'll see how this second season does. I'm excited because for you new subscribers who hadn't heard me talk about the UFL is the combination of the USFL and the XFL. They came together and made the United Football League. So teams from the USFL and teams from the XFL are back. They kept those teams. They didn't eliminate any of them. They kept them and just combined the 2 leagues. So they had a merger like the NFL did, because it was the American League and the National League. They combined it to make the NFL, and that's how you had the AFC and the NFC. So maybe this might be what happens with the UFL. They break them down into the divisions like AFC, NFC, but not call it that. But first, they need to get more teams, because I think there's only like 8 teams in the UFL. But I'm excited for the UFL, and just as a note, I'm not going to cover this season, but for you NASCAR fans, NASCAR starts back on Sunday. I'm not going to cover it because of reasons that you guys can go back and look at with the championship from last season. I didn't agree with it, and I'm just not covering it this season. So that was all for sports news. Now we're going to move into the Who We're Listening To segment. And who are we listening to this week? It's a group called Tremonti. I know, weird sounding group, right? They're good though. They're actually the side project of Mark Tremonti, who is the guitarist for Creed and Alter Bridge. More so Alter Bridge, because Creed doesn't do much of anything. They're doing reunion shows now. But more so Alter Bridge. And he's they're a hard rock alternative metal band from Orlando, Florida. They formed in 2011. I found out about them around 2012. And it just heard them on the radio. Can't remember what song it was. But I heard them on the radio, thought they sounded good, and I was like, I need to listen to more of them. And then I found out who they were, and I was like, okay. But their debut album is All I Was. That was in 2011. They've had six studio albums, 25 singles, no compilation albums, no live albums, and the new album is The End Will Show Us How. So I've listened to part of The End Will Show You How, and it's a really good album. It's got good vocals. It's got every song that I've heard on it so far is really good. But so we're gonna I'm gonna kind of change up the next part where it says what song we're listening to. I changed it to what album we're listening to this week, and I want you guys to listen to the whole "The End Will Show Us How" album, and just let me know what you guys think. And speaking of music, what are you guys' favorite music, new subscribers? Favorite song, favorite genre, favorite group? Let me know. Drop it in the comments what you guys think. And if you liked the video today, I want you guys again to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. But that's about all I've got for this week, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl. Let me know what you guys thought of it if y'all watched it. And I hope you guys have a happy Valentine's Day. And I will be back next week with some more sports news. Have a good weekend, y'all. God bless.